know how you can help Let's Talk About the Music stay on the air and earn some VIP privileges at the same time? Go to patreon.com/LTATM radio to find out how you can get involved. That's patreon.com. Let's talk about the music.
Tired in the morning?
Then wake up with coffee and a midday music break. Mondays and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., we'll have trivia, news, horoscopes, weather, and This Day in Music. You can even request a song when you stop into the chat room when you follow the show. And follow the show at letstalkaboutthemusic.com.
Magical Things offers fantasy art for festival and everyday living, featuring the fine arts and craft creations of Marjorie Delaney on practical printed products such as journals, mugs, costuming, wearable art, formal wear, and accessories. We also carry a line of magical supplies, including candles, oils, herbs, and limited ritual items. All items are created in a scenic studio space in Culpeper, Virginia, and available throughout the world online, as well as at festivals and events. Magical Things offers custom creations too, such as costuming, illustrations, and more. Come visit us at magicalfantasy.com.
Well, that was some boring music.
Spike?
Come on, where's the Justin Bieber? Where's the Katy Perry? Where's the Fallout Boy?
Noddle, you have witch powers. Turn him into a chipmunk and feed him to the owl outside.
I will do no such thing. We're here to talk about our website.
HomeCanineNeutering.com?
What?
No! InvaderPet.com, where people can check out our comic strips or locate bookstores selling bookmarks with our comics on them. So, listeners, want to see comics of me, Noddle the Witch, my pets Kaylee Cat, and Spike Beagle? Go to InvaderPet.com and check us out.
Seriously, though, you guys really have a canine neutering website?
Hi, this is Dave from Cajun Co. We're based in Newcastle upon Tyne in the United Kingdom, and you're listening to Let's Talk About the Music. Enjoy the show, enjoy the music, and let the world flow.
This life without those parachutes. Investigate another point of view. Everybody gets to change. Everybody gets to move. Baby, no, we've got the right to find another groove. Inside a box that's out of air. I'm not afraid to say that I don't care. Everybody gets to change. Everybody gets to move. Baby, no, we've got the right to find another groove. Wide open pain outside the lines. Never gonna do perfection, headed in the right direction. Wide open pain outside the lines. Gonna feel alright. Gonna feel alright. Let's mess it up until we find something new. Kick it down and clean it out until we choose. Everybody gets to change. Everybody gets to move. Baby, no, we've got the right to find another groove. Wide open pain outside the lines. Never gonna do perfection, headed in the right direction. Wide open pain outside the lines. Gonna feel alright. Gonna feel alright.
talk about the music. I am Shells here in Tacoma. You can Google it. You can drink. And then he's out there in Ohio. Ohio. And finally, we are joined by Jason, who was a drummer for both bands, SleepyPilot and Strangely Alright.
Double duty.
So, what's it like to double duty on both bands?
Well, it's pretty exhausting when we play shows together. We've had a couple opportunities to do back-to-back shows together, and double duty. Yeah, it's pretty exhausting.
I bet it is. So, before we go back to our topic, it's a little bit. Which band did you start with first, SleepyPilot or Strangely Alright?
I started out with SleepyPilot a couple of years before I met the Strangely Alright guys.
Oh, okay. All right. And so, tell us a little bit about both bands, starting with SleepyPilot.
Depends where you want to know. I can tell you a ton of stuff.
Give me the goods, man. Give me the goods.
Give you the goods. Okay. Well, let's start out with SleepyPilot.
Okay.
Let me ditch my gum here. I'm going to spit it all over the place. So SleepyPilot was formed by Sean Van Bommel. And the way that came about, he'd been playing music around the Pacific Northwest for most of his teenage and young adult life. And he entered into a John Lennon songwriting contest. I think this was in, 2010, I'm guessing. 2009, 2010, somewhere in there. And he won this contest. Won the grand prize, I believe. And so what that entailed was they produced an album for him. They said, "Hey, dude, you got like a year. Put together 10 or 12 songs. We'll master them for you. We'll do cover art, and then we'll print out 1,000 CDs for you." And they also gave him a ton of They also gave him a ton of gear to accomplish this with. They gave him rolling effects units and computer interfaces and MIDI controllers and all this stuff he needed to make an album. So he went off on his own for a year and created the first SleepyPilot album by himself.
Wow.
Drums, bass, synth, everything, all him. So then he ends up with 1,000 CDs, and he's like, "What am I going to do with these things? I gotta take these out, sell them, bring music to people." So he put out an ad on Craigslist, and right about that time, I started looking for my first drum band, and I jumped on Craigslist, and I set 3 auditions. He was the first one. I met him, and right away we clicked. We've been together ever since.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those fortuitous kind of things where it's just all the building blocks just sound like they fell right into place.
Oh, yeah. They truly did, because I'd only been playing drums for maybe 3 years or so at that point. And I kept telling myself I didn't have time for the band because I got a career and all this other stuff. And I had just gotten out of the Army. And the moment I went looking, I found him.
Cool.
And then basically we went out, we recruited a bass player we knew, and figured out some ways that we could put this music into action live, and we took it to the stage. And we've been writing and recording and playing ever since.
Cool. So how long did you serve the military before you conquered your music, what I'm trying to look at, your music passion, I guess you say?
Oh, I was in the military for just shy of 10 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now, would you, if you had never gotten into music, would you have gone back into there and done a career military kind of thing, or were you pretty much done for good?
No, I've always been into music. Prior to the military, I played guitar for 15 years before I ever even played.
Oh, okay.
So I fronted cover bands and did original music of my own before I even joined the military. And then when I was in the military, I just kind of fiddled around on the guitar. But I always wanted to play drums, so I started doing that the last year I was in the military. Finally settled down. I wasn't deploying. Bought a drum kit. went and saw a drum teacher and learned the right way.
Cool.
So yeah, I've always had the music in me. I decided not to retire from the military. I basically kind of topped out my career in the military, and I just would have been ordering troops around and sitting behind the desk. So I was pretty much done with it. It was time for me to go out and do something else.
Well, thanks for serving as long as you did. So it's quite awesome.
Oh yeah, it's my honor.
So during the whole the first hour, we decided to take a topic real quickly and bring up the suicide prevention. Now, it's a very touchy topic. Is there any words of wisdoms that you can maybe help people to not go that way? I don't know how to explain this because it's a very touchy topic.
I don't really have a lot of personal experience with it. I've known a couple people that have taken their own lives, but I don't know exactly why. I don't know the place they're in. There's no way of me even seeing that in them, that they were that depressed or anything. They hid it pretty well. So yeah, I really can't weigh in on the topic too much.
Yeah, no worries.
Well, that's got positives and negatives, though. I mean, it says good things about your own stability, that you're a good, stable individual, and so nobody's got to worry about you. And it's good to know that it's not so widespread that everybody everywhere is just constantly losing people left and right. I mean, people do lose people to it, and it's definitely a tough thing, but it's nice to hear sometimes that it's not hitting quite as close to home sometimes.
For sure.
Yeah, I actually just lost a friend probably a week or two ago. I don't want to talk about who it was or anything like that.
Yeah, it's not important.
That caught me by surprise, but mainly we see it in our heroes a lot, a lot of them, I'm sure you guys touched on Kurt Cobain and stuff like that. Yeah.
Robin Williams too.
Yeah, Robin Williams. It's almost one of those things where the more famous you are, the more susceptible you get to that kind of stuff due to the pressure involved. And that's not to take it away from anybody who isn't a celebrity who's gone through this kind of stuff. It just the stress and the pressure of trying to live up to something that people expect you to be constantly is probably factors into that quite a bit, I'd imagine.
Yeah, and with a lot of those celebrities, they see extreme highs in their life, and they feel a lot of joy and real high peaks, and then nothing. So it's just big peaks and valleys in their lives and stuff. So maybe they peak out and they have a bad time, and it's just so total opposite that it hits them harder than the average person. I don't know.
Yeah, there's still a lot of uncertainty into why people do the things that they do, unfortunately, and I don't know if it's ever going to be something that we're going to be able to figure out in my lifetime. But hopefully, we can get closer and kind of help people through a little bit more than we could have otherwise. So that's probably the best we can kind of hope out of the situation.
Yep, I totally agree with that one. All right, so touch base on that a little bit. So let's talk about Strangely Alright for a moment.